Hey everyone, Milsurp Garage here. Let's give a little update on the Schmidt Rubin butt plate situation. Obviously, we have made no progress. Story is that I went to a few places that I really trust, and nobody wanted to touch it. One place, the guy did refer me to a gunsmith, and he said this was a place that it more or less deals with just sales, but he's a specialist in M1 Garand and M1 carbines. Known nationwide. I'm lucky to have the guy kind of right in my backyard. That he's like well known in that industry for the M1 Garands and M1 carbines, and he said he sends out all his woodwork to this one particular guy who is even closer to my house that I've never heard of. And it was a place, it was like a little weird place in the back of like an industrial park, but inside the guy had a really beautiful setup and everything. I was really sure that this was going to be the guy to get this done. And I took it out of the case and showed it to him, and he was just like, nah, I ain't touching that. And I'm thinking, like, all these guys, nobody wants to mess with it. They're all being, they're doing me wrong. But to tell you the truth, what they're really doing is the right thing for me, because this is a pretty nice one, but it's not a mint one, and it's not that expensive of a gun, and a guy's looking at a project like this, and just like anything else, it's time. Time is money. How much time is it going to take me to do that? And they're realizing that it would be more cost effective to probably just buy another one, or buy a stock at the least, you know what I mean? But for what they would charge me to get this done right, I probably could buy a whole other gun. So I think in a way they're just really trying to protect me. But then again, if a guy told me a couple of $100 to put this thing on right, I just might probably be right there on the spot and probably just pay to have it done. But it looks like I'm going to have to tackle this on my own. And the biggest problem, just for an update if you haven't seen the first video on it, this is what originally, not actually, I shouldn't say originally, this is what came on the gun when I got it, was just this flat piece of plastic, and the stock was cut dead flat here. And there's actually drywall wall anchors in here, which is amazing. Which is interesting because those don't line up with the holes. The holes actually line up with these, with that and that one. There's one down there is what it actually lines up with. And I really doubt these were the originals, because the original has one on the top and one on the bottom here. The problem with this is just its orientation. Oh, I got it on. Since I got the gun upside down, it would go this way. This is the problem. Is just that it's just not simple. It's just not simple. It has to have that piece cut out, but it also has a curved signature to it. Plus, that cup would have to be properly seated into there. And the issue is that the further you go back, if you cut to recess this for this to go in, see that right now looks to be right about the right height, but as you move in, it has a very sharp taper downwards, so that might not line up. But there was a guy in there that did have an idea. He said if you fill this, basically you see when this is on there, if this was just filled with something, even if it was just filled with wood, or even if you did it with epoxy, or I don't know what's out there, some type of clay material that hardens, that looks like wood, or what, anything that you could just fill this with and make it flat, because it basically sits on there just like this. And if that was the case, if you did that, in other words, if you did somehow fill it where it was just up against this, and then you had it on like that, all you would really have to cut into here would be that relief. You just have to cut a little U-shaped relief in there where the screw would go, And the rest of this, where you see it all hollow inside, could all be filled with something, and it even lines up down there on the bottom. See, it lines up. So if it were filled, and then you could either drill through it or tap it to put the screw in, that screw would be able to go into the wood. But I don't know what type of material you'd use to do that, but right now where the butt plate sits right now, it does line up perfectly. That would work perfect. I just don't know if like any kind of material you could fill this with. And like I said, if you cut out that relief right there, just for that to sit down against the wood, it would look nice. Don't know. But that's where I'm at. No one can help me here. I'm on my own. I haven't really done anything yet. I'm so careful that I'll probably stare at this all summer. But this is a great shooter. I love this gun. I like this better than my K31. This thing is awesome. Deadly accurate. And it's just so long. I mean, the length of it, even just the size of it, just feels like an awesome gun to shoot. So that's really why I want, of anything, I would want this to be all correct. But you know what? They're pretty much all correct, my guns. I mean, this is just like one thing that's standing out. Oh, I guess another update to follow.